Hello, my name is Zhatelier, and welcome back for another episode of Supreme Ultimate as Italy, and today we're actually going to start playing the game. I did start a new game just so that we can start on a fresh table. Instead of what we did in the tutorial, every now and then we did things that we might not want to do again. Right, so we'll go through these world events real quick. So that's the Italian-Ethiopian war, or Italo-Ethiopian war going on, which we do know, and then Germany has reoccupied Rhineland, so we're going to support them. We're going to be somewhat friendly with them. I have mostly the same settings as on the... oh, bloody hell. Supply depots. Yes, I know. So the buildings have supply depots, I'm assuming in... I mean, I suppose I could have checked that, but probably in around Ethiopia, if I'm not mistaken. We've got some units over there. Oh, right. I think I saw... no, never mind then. Anyway, that's not really important right now. We need to go through all the basics here again. So what we're going to do is, first of all, Finance Minister. You're not going to take any new bonds. We're going to lock you from taxes and social spending as well. And construction. You won't be doing much. Then we need to do some research. So what we're going to do is we're going to take... maybe the better tank tech might not be a bad one. Although it's technically a bit ahead of time. It's not too bad. Our society... highways is something that we cannot buy from elsewhere, so we'll get that. Commercial food processing. What does it lead to? Improved military logistics. That puts the infrastructure rating up. Again, so it's not necessarily a bad one. Or we could research some units. Half-track infantry. It would still be soft target. Has pretty high spotting range. I think I actually want that. So I'm going to put that onto research there, and once we got those researching, we can put in more into the queue. We could of course build another research center if we want to. It takes quite a while to build, if I remember correctly. Hold on. Don't remember exactly, but I suppose we could still build another one of these somewhere. I think Firenze might be a good place. It takes a long while to build, so even though it has the cost of 300 million, and we already have about that much, it's not going to be too bad. So that has begun. And I think I do want to, since I did do that previously, first of all, we'll lock at least the goods. Doesn't matter if the AI sells and controls those, but I do want to make sure that we can at least save a little bit of the extra military goods, for example, just so that we can get a bit of a stockpile going. And probably same with the industrial goods. And maybe even the consumer goods, although we're not even producing enough right now. So we got those set up. There's still probably something that I am forgetting. For example, I do want to increase the infrastructure spending a decent bit, and the healthcare. Education is also fairly important, but I'm not going to increase it as much. I'm going to do the family subsidies, just so that we can get a population growing going to a certain degree, and law enforcement we're going to go that pretty high, since we do not want rebellions. That's one way to stop them. So the goal in this playthrough is to basically take over Mediterranean. Once I own every coastal hex of the Mediterranean, I would think the border is going to be somewhere around here. We're not going to necessarily care about the straits here, but we'll probably take it anyway. Which means that we're going to have to take out... well, we're going to have to duke it out with both France and the British. And then, of course, Turkey, Greece, Yugoslavia, Albania, Spain, and so forth. So we got quite a bit to do here. And of course, well, Libya is technically, they are a colony, so we might make some of those our colonies instead of actually conquering it, which will lower some of the problems that we might face. But that's basically the goal for this. Right, so we got that set up. I do believe we got quite a bit of reserve units. Okay, that's in Sardinia. Oh right, and let's first of all make sure that the AI doesn't control the unit. We're going to do it ourselves. They can do the spending, I suppose. Speaking of which, we'll upgrade the maintenance to 500,000 per day and maybe a bit more for the salaries, just to keep the military happy. And if we have a look at the... Hold on, is it over here? Military approval rating is not very high. We do need to get it higher. And do we have extra troops around... here? Is there any barracks around? So we got some ships there at least. We got some cavalry recon and infantry down here, which I suppose I could send up north. We don't need them there right now, so we'll send them that way. We do have a supply depot over there, so we could move here, and I'm pretty sure that the supplies around here are dreadful. There is a town there which would spread the supplies a little bit. We've got 2 units over there, we can move them a little bit forward. I don't think we got any supplies around here, that is going to be a problem. Maybe attacking along this road is not really that important. They're actually moving... Why are they moving all the way there? They don't need to move there. Let's move the tanks over there. It could be that the AI has given some orders to the units. Not all of them, but some of them. So we've got some tanks here, we're going to move them to the front line there. I think that timber mill area is going to be our first goal. Also, right, so let's get the oil field, or gas field in... Oh, actually we could build one there, but I think this one is more profitable. Or is it? Not necessarily. Actually, we'll build it there then. Or we could build one in both, really. We'll build... okay, so let's go through what we have. We are not producing enough agriculture, but that's not too bad. I mean, the agriculture is not very expensive at this point yet, so we can easily just buy it. Although, I do think our unemployment is rather high, so we could build some of that. Then timber... Well, that's usually fairly cheap, so I don't think we need to worry about that right now. Petroleum is always going to be a problem. Coal is also rather cheap. Metal ores we're producing a fair bit. And uranium, well, it's not really... There's no demand for that. But there's in addition to the different countries buying, there's also the world market that is kind of simulated in their like private ownership, so there's still some sales even though you might not be doing it yourself. Alright, so we got those set up. I think we got most set up already, so what I think I'm going to do is... oh right, we haven't actually set up the productions. What I'm going to do is... unit production auto deploy. I will auto deploy on. We'll build one La Marina, just because we can. Then I think we're going to build... I don't know, like 5 infantry. We could build some... Oh, there's motorized engineers that we have probably not necessarily deployed, but we do have them somewhere. We could get some mounted infantry. Let's have a look at the stats. It has a pretty decent spotting range and fairly long move range, but on the other hand we don't have the oil, so maybe we want to stick to regular infantry now. And tanks are not necessarily great right now. We'll build a couple more of those, so they'll just put in the queue right now, and we'll build some artillery. And I think this is probably the best that we have. The other one has a bit higher range, but it's actually the same amount of hexes, so it doesn't really matter. This one does more damage, so we'll build at least one of those. And then I think we're gonna have to build... I don't know, we'll build 5 of supply trucks to get started. I mean, they got cargo space for 72 tons, but they can actually move around some inventory as well if they need to. Right, and then we got some troops around here. We got the supply depot over there. What we could do is we could start moving a bit more of the infantry along the road here. Keep the engineers behind. I mean, the engineers are pretty good at fighting as well, so it's not too bad. Right, so there's nothing over there. We've got these tanks here that we can move in, for example, to the airfield. These units over here. Move the infantry over there in case they start moving in from there. I mean, there's a village and industrial complex, both in very low supply. But we do plan on making Ethiopia our colony instead of actually worrying about it too much. We got some extra units here. We apparently got a plane going back from somewhere. Don't think we have an airfield around here, do we? Not by the looks of it. Right, so I think it's time to unpause for a moment. Get things going at least. Right, so I'm actually pretty sure that there's no supplies around here. So attacking on this side is kind of pointless. Same over here, we can't really get through there. So that is set up as a hotspot for the enemy, I think. We could... Oh. Just making sure that we haven't set up any of those. Yeah, the initiatives should be completely down. Okay, so letter condition is currently high, which means that our efficiency bonus is 21% and build speed bonus 5%. So that's good. I'm gonna do not. Oh right, actually we didn't start building any planes or anything like that. We'll build some tactical bombers. Maybe even a transport. Don't have... Oh, we do have interceptors. We'll build 2 of these, because I'm pretty sure that they are better. At least they have higher close air attack. And hold on, does it say the range here? Or speed? No, not really, but we can check that. Okay, so we have 780 kilometer range on that one, and on this one 750. So it is longer range, it is faster, it has better attacks. So it is definitely a better option. And then what we'll do is, I think we'll build another submarine, because we're currently building one of those. Might as well build another one. Then maybe capital ship. These have pretty high attacks. Oh yeah, we'll build another one of those. And Bolzano. What about another... Oh, we don't really have good escort designs, do we? Transport. AO Treviso class. It's pretty high capacity, so we might want to get another one of those, because those can land units away from docks, so basically you can land directly from those. That's going to be useful once we start fighting various nations. And speaking of various nations, I think what we're going to do is diplomacy. Someone who already kind of hates us. I don't know, Albania is always a good option as a quick and easy fight. We're just going to support the opposition. It costs a little bit, it will start gaining us some war justification. It will not go up quickly, but it will reach decent numbers eventually. So we've got some units moving in there, we got Oh, we got a supply truck here. I'm not sure where that came from, but I'm not complaining. Okay, so it's slowly accumulating the cargo there. 170, 190, okay. So supply truck, what we're going to do is we're going to move it on this side. Just so that we can take out that village. At the same time, we got the infantry moving down here. I don't think we got the airfield there, so we got a little bit of supplies around here. With the infantry on the road there. Just so that the artillery can actually shoot before they're being fired upon. Artillery tends to be something that the enemy favors. Oh. UK denies aid to France. Oh. Tensions will go high. Lost some territory due to the lack of supply. And now, actually, since we got those researches going, we'll add in another research. Synthetic rubber production might be okay, or... Oh, improved power grid. Well, that takes a lot of time to produce. We got a decent production in power anyway. Do we have any good escort designs here, actually? Doro, sure, we'll add that to the list. Or into the queue. Right, so these troops are actually regaining some supplies. Do we have... Okay, we do have the artillery there. Yes, I know, capturing territory. Right, let's send in the tanks over there. Then we'll use these infantry to move a bit this way. Do we have any supplies around here? We do have 15%. That means that we can actually move in pretty far. We've got another supply truck here. I think there's some units that are kind of appearing out of nowhere. Or they're kind of scripted to be there. We've got quite a bit of planes here, but then I don't think they have a huge range. We do have an airfield over here, don't we? Yeah, we do. We'll send in at least a bomber and maybe a couple of fighters, patrol plane, more interceptors. That would be 7 planes there. That should be plenty. Now, how much do we have oil right now? We got pretty decent reserves. We're using quite a bit. Actually, are we... No, we're buying some. Okay. Paraguay fascist regime. I was just gonna go with okay. But some of those planes are rather old, so they're not particularly efficient. With the supply truck in there, I think with 3 infantry, we might be able to take out that. There's bound to be some garrison in there, so there's going to be a fight. At the same time, we'll move in these troops along the road. And since we do have these troops, move along over that way. So we've got some planes there, we've got infantry over there, that's fine. How's the troops on the south here? We haven't actually... Oh, right, we got another supply truck, excellent. Move in the infantry there, we'll move in the tanks that way. Another supply truck here, which is probably going to be used there. Now, I could actually use the supply truck to take out that one, but I don't think it's really necessary. I haven't actually taken much in here, have we? So, some of the units are moving, but since there's little to no supplies, it doesn't really help. Let's have a look. What do we have? Okay, we do have the supply stuff and such. And, well, I mean, they are essentially puppets. The tanks over here are kind of out of supplies most of the time, so it takes a while for them to move. They kind of get enough supplies to move forward a little bit, and then they run out of supplies again. Oh, we actually captured that immediately. So no fighting there. Well then, we still got artillery and tank over here, which I suppose we could move forward. Okay, we captured another city. We'll leave one of the infantry there, and the remaining two will move back with the supply truck and such. Basically just to defend that so that they can't just immediately grab that. Don't think they have a huge military. Have a look at their military. They've got army staff of 12,000. They might have a little bit around the capital, but about other than that, probably not much. We've got some infantry here. We'll start moving them towards the front. The idea is that we'll move up from the south towards the capital and from the north. Casus Belli? I know. So there's basically war justification. If you declare war without having enough of a war justification, everyone will hate you. And generally speaking, you don't want that. Let's see, do they have any garrison there? Probably not. But we're slowly capturing the lands here. And frankly, we're probably a lot more competent than the actual Italians were. Well, I suppose that's not too hard, is it? Right, so the half-track infantry still under research. It's going to take a while. Oh, there was fighting somewhere. Oh yeah, there's infantry. Let's move in the artillery a little bit closer. Yeah, they move in there and all the units over here get a chance to fire. So that's good, and then the artillery technically should be able to fire. Although they have not so far. I mean, whenever they arrive there, they should fire. While they're sending troops from there, we should probably try to attack the city to cut off the reinforcements. Actually, I'm going to move in there. Because they are low on morale right now. And they're taking a fair bit of hits. We can capitalize on that. Now, the tanks that we have are not very good. Period, so we're not going to be using them too much. But at least the enemy won't be able to do much damage on them. Okay, the first unit of theirs is about to die, and the artillery is giving some fire support now. There we go, another one destroyed. Let's have a look at the military. It's actually increasing, so they probably started using some of their reserves. I'm gonna... hold on. I'll send you for repairs. The remainder 3 can keep on moving, and we'll send in the infantry at least there. The engineers are still probably gonna be kept behind. Alright, so we've got quite a bit of units here. Let's leave the artillery behind a little bit, then we can send in these units down that way, and these units as well. Still got the planes here. They don't have a huge range if I remember correctly. Right, so they got land production there, and they got airfield there. I don't think they have much in terms of planes though. I wonder, do we have enough? We'll send the plane there, if it gets that far at least. It should do a little bit damage. There we go. And it's out of supplies technically. Or it does have just a small amount of attack time. So it has to go back again. Right, so the troops are slowly gaining back their organization or morale. We've got plenty of supplies over there in the cargo. We've got some infantry over here that we should probably send in forward. And with the help of the artillery, that unit is destroyed. Let's utilize that and or capitalize on that move the troops a bit closer. We can see another infantry moving in there. How's the fight going in? Well, there's no real fight in the south anyway. Not yet. So we'll move in these. The infantry actually stay there. They need to rest for a while. And the supply trucks are rather fast. So you do want to be careful with them, just to make sure that the enemy doesn't grab them. Move a bit closer there. I suppose what I could do is I could select these and move them into the town. So we've got those two still on their way. But it would appear that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out my other links down below. For example, if you want to join my Discord server, there's a link down there. If you want to support my work on Patreon, there's a link for that. Or if you want to buy some merchandise, there's a link for that, as well as Paywall and Twitch. So there's a lot of links there if you want to check, or if you want to check the El Salvador World Conquest series that I did, which is a pretty long one. But anyway, other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.